Ezra Asar. Step back on the baseline by Asar, the transfer from East Carolina for the game's first points. Doug McDaniel from the corner, and a three.
His ability to relocate. You drive, you get the ball in Coleman Hawkins, and his versatility to drive that lane right down, and then the shooter has to know on that drive, can you get to a spot where he can find you?
Ball knocked away by Doug McDaniel. Long outlet pass, and the lay-in racing up the floor, David Gasson. 7 straight for K-State.
It always needs to travel, Roxy. And can your defense be disruptive enough to create opportunities, in particular on the road, to give you extra possessions? Early on in this game, K-State has been off to a good start, and we've seen that early here for Kansas State.
We call that our own edition of College Basketball Live.
Does that count as a studio hit in my contract?
Comes up empty.
You beat Kansas. Place is rocking. You come back in a very short turnaround. What's your attention to detail?
Mira Little darts to the basket. The give and go to Jake Wallin. And the drop off and the block shot. Lawson Lovering will head to the line, which is an adventure.
I think if you're Craig Smith, you're going to be okay with that. You've turned it over. Good action right there. Movement just completely fell asleep on the back line of the defense for Kansas State.
Jake Wallin. First three for Utah. A drop off here on Little. Lawson Lovering rams it home.
Little's played well. I mean, he has been aggressive. He got it 2 points early, but setting up his teammates, his second assist of the game. A loose ball diving out of bounds to try to regain possession.
And a three, the stroke from David Castillo.
I mean, his minutes had dropped. Plays well the other night, comes back here tonight, and he's playing really productive basketball.
Ezra Asar, the reverse to the baseline.
That's being kind. They're almost dead last in college basketball.
There's only 2 teams worse. Over the top of the drop in for Moby Ikegarike. Jake Wallin glides in.
If you're giving up points to paint like this, so I mean, just watch.
Both on the foul and the free throw discussion. It's Doug McDaniel launching a three for Kansas State, his second three. They're finding their rhythm and finding their offensive game here the last number of minutes. As right on cue, Max Jones.
Can't settle for long-range three-pointers on a consistent basis.
Max Jones, who lost it going up, got it back, drops it in. K-State. Person at the top of the board of the scatter report. We can't let him get looks.
They talked about it for a good 20 minutes today. Every play they ran through, they said, you got to stay attached. Now, this is a matchup Coleman Hawkins needs to aggressively attack.
Max Jones. But he did have 5 assists. Max Jones leading Kansas State with 10. Lawson Lovering for Utah, who just came away with the basketball there.
The problem is, defensively, Kansas State's done a really good job.
Pull-up jumper. And the first points of the night for Mike Sharp-Jumps.
The number one thing we have to do is box out. They're not doing it.
And the lay-in, Ezra Asar for Utah.
That's the second offensive rebound on that possession. Nobody. He's got 3 offensive rebounds in the last 2 trips down the floor. And he got the defensive rebound at the other end.
Lawson Lovering to the bucket.
He's got 12 and 6. He has had an outstanding game so far.
Kansas State in desperate need of a bucket. And Doug McDaniel buries a 3.
Every time they need one, we saw it in the first half when they tightened things up and made it 21-25.
Ezra Asar underneath.
There's a couple games that if they shot this percentage at the free throw line, they'd be in a lot better position as far as tournament resume goes.
Here come the running Utes. Jake Wallin, the drop off, Lawson Lovering. Largest lead of the night for Utah.
And 15 for Lovering.
And they've outscored Kansas State 12-3 to start the second half. Coleman Hawkins on a step back and his first points of the night.
Utah's size in the second half, a big part of why they're... I get that he can pass the ball.
Ezra Asar makes a tough shot.
Start the second half, and Lovering and Asar have combined now for 27 points between the two of them and 12 rebounds. They have been.
And the block.
Unique journey.
He originally signed with Utah out of high school. Off of Miro Little will stay at this end and a Kansas State ball.
7 fouls against the interior of Kansas State.
Just one on the shot clock. And from the corner! How about that shot? Brennan Hawson. The double clutch from the corner. And they're going to the monitor
for a possible shot clock violation
to make sure. Ezra Asar. And has it deflected. Pushing it. David Gasson. Wallin spots up in the corner. And a three for Jake Wallin. Timeout, Utah.
Yenso with his 4th block of the game. Look out.
Ezra Asar off the inbound.
But that last out of bounds play underneath, the defense just falls asleep. I mean, no communication. Look at the movement. It's been over 5 minutes since a made field goal for K-State.
What point do you bring back Coleman Hawkins?
I don't think that Coleman Hawkins has been that effective in tonight's game, to be honest with you.
Doug McDaniel. Here's Hawkins. Gets inside the scoop, and we're tied. Inside 3.5 to go. And now, after the flagrant one, the ball inbounded by Utah. Good job. Poked away by Coleman Hawkins. 3-on-2 for K-State. And the runner by C.J. Jones. Miro Little weaves his way in. In the lane, Miro Little puts Utah back on top.
Certain about what they're running. It's 15 seconds, they finally get into their action.
Gabe Madsen.
That is a defensive breakdown by Coleman Hawkins right there. You've got to read the game Madsen's coming off.
Strip from Hunter Erickson. And Utah escapes the backcourt. Shara Jones. Max Jones on the drive. Lays it in. 13.9 to go. 5 seconds to go in a 2-possession game. And Max Jones throws it away. That'll do it. And a huge 2 victories at home for Utah over Kansas and now Kansas State.